Hi everyone, my name's Dean Curtis. I'm the Deputy Vice-Chancellor and Chief Finance Officer. I'm sitting in my spare bedroom on a chair that I've had to steal from my wife, who works in here normally, in a household shared with my two preschool children and the in-laws, who have to be shielded due to their health concerns. Behind me is the map showing 100 alpine ski resorts from the days when I actually had a life and when I was a snowboarder. I wish I'd got every one of them, unfortunately not. All this underlines the huge impact COVID-19 has had on all of our lives. Likewise, it's buffeted the UK economy, with shops and restaurants forced to close, orders drying up and staff being furloughed. I'm going to touch on how we at UEL have been financially impacted, on what we are doing about it. In summary, we've gone from a small surplus in the last financial year, the first in 5 years, to a comparatively small forecast loss in the current year. In the space of a few hectic weeks, our whole existence has changed. Halls of residence are 70% empty. Summer schools have been cancelled. Tuition fee payments are delayed. Teaching has moved online and overseas students have returned home. The worst case scenario is that income could fall by up to £10 million before the end of this financial year. However, it's not all doom and gloom. We're not burdened by external debt. The move to remote working, alongside careful management of our costs, means that our overall expenditure has been reduced. We are carrying on with investments into new IT systems as part of our digital first strategy, from cloud work into CRM and web. We're also trying to acquire the remaining parts of the USS building as the first major step in implementing the Connected Campus Facilitating project. We've also introduced a number of measures to alleviate the impact on students of COVID-19. This includes providing students with a break in their accommodation agreements to allow them to return home without further rent obligations being incurred, and extending for up to 2 months the time academically engaged self-funding students have to pay their tuition fees. Looking to the future, I expect that there will be some form of government action to help the higher education sector. This may include controls on how many home and EU student numbers we're allowed to admit across the sector, and hopefully some gap funding to see the sector across the bridge from now to a point where we can all are able to survive and, more importantly, thrive again. However, we cannot rely solely on government intervention. Instead, UEB has been planning action that we can take. This includes ensuring that the number of students we currently have continue to the end of the academic year and return next year, providing master level courses in as many of the disciplinary areas as possible so that students can graduate from their undergraduate studies onto one of them, maximising the number of students we currently have applications for, developing new income streams. We are in final discussions with a major partnership in the UK and with international partners in India and Egypt, mimicking the relationship that we have with Metropolitan College in Greece. We'll also be launching our new CPD venture very shortly. We're taking the time to refine the transformation and facilitation projects in Vision 2028 to give the university the best ability to respond to these changed circumstances and flourish in whatever shape the HE sector is in the next few years. We are securing an investment capability through the receipt of our future rents from the halls of residences. This will enable the university, from the moment we return to on-site operations, to invest further. This will be into further IT capability to support distance learning. We will reduce our CO2 emissions as we strive to reduce our environmental impact and make plans to develop Stratford. Yes, we are clearly living through some traumatic times, but the need for higher education and a place like the University of East London has not fundamentally changed. I think, working together through the challenges that we are going to face, we will not just survive this shock, we will more importantly thrive again. Thank you very much for listening.